What's up YouTube, Warstu here with a video on Endgame. So hopefully by now you have watched Endgame multiple times. It's such a freaking awesome movie and it has been out for a few days now, so you should have catched it already, I hope so. So if you have, let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite moment and did it break your heart into a million pieces? So spoiler warning, if you haven't seen the movie already, I might ruin your life. So we are giving away a Hasbro Infinity Gauntlet that I have showed off on the channel and my Instagram at Warstu multiple times. All you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel with notifications on and let me know down below what is your favorite part of the movie. And also we will be giving away a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X at the 100,000 mark. Yes, I know it's a bit far-fetched, it's a bit early because we are just about to hit 70,000, but one day the channel will hit 100,000 subscribers, I do believe. So we are going to go over the biggest Easter eggs in the movie. Now, obviously, we can't talk about all of them, or else this would be like a 45-minute video. What is an Easter egg? A lot of people get Easter eggs wrong. An Easter egg is a hidden link. Generally, Easter eggs are actually linked with websites and computer programming. I don't know if you can code, but generally, it's just a hidden part in anything, a hidden part in the movie that you are supposed to look for. It's a reference point. So literally there are hundreds of Easter eggs in this movie, but we are only going to talk about the main ones that I think are pretty cool. But if you do want to drop them down below, it would be awesome. And also we are doing a Q&A video very soon. So if you have any questions, if you've watched the channel for a while, if you want me to tell you anything that you want to know from your boy Warstu, just let me know. So in no particular order, I've watched the movie twice, gonna go watch it again next week. So I'm going to go over the best ones that I've found. If you found any other ones, let me know. So let's kick it off with the first one. The daughter's director is actually the girl that is playing Hawkeye's daughter, who Hawkeye does say Hawkeye to at the start of the movie, which is pretty cool. So Ava Russo is actually in the movie, which is pretty cool. Tony Stark's vision. Tony brings up the fact that he had a vision of Thanos winning and no one listened to him or seem to care. He's talking about his nightmare from the Age of Ultron scene, which featured him seeing the dead Avengers and Captain America saying, "Why didn't you do more?" Now the next one's pretty funny in a way because it's actually real. Tony calls Rocket a Build-A-Bear, which is pretty funny because they are making a Build-A-Bear. You can actually purchase a Build-A-Bear for Thanos and a bunch of other characters, which is pretty funny. Tony interjects and notes until the point when Rocket spoke, he actually thought he was a Build-A-Bear, which is even more funny if you've seen behind the scenes images when Rocket's on the set. It literally just is a teddy bear, which is pretty funny. Joe Russo gets a cameo role in the movie with the survivors meeting. He is the first gay man in the movie in the MCU, which is pretty funny in the Steve Rogers support group near the start of the movie, which is pretty funny. It's not his first cameo role either. He was in Winter Soldier. So the next one is a pretty big one because it could come to fruition. It could come true in either Black Panther 2 or Doctor Strange 2. So there's a big reference. Black Widow has taken it upon herself to organize what is left in an overseas task force. But in this scene where the teammates communicate via a holographic projection, first seen in Captain America the Winter Soldier, the movie hinted at something which is pretty awesome. So there was a seismic incident that occurred along the ocean floor. The action plan offered by Okoye is, well, to do nothing. As it stands, the Avengers aren't really ready. They can't handle earthquakes. But this is hinting at NAMOR, which is pretty cool because the Doctor Strange 2 director has hinted at NAMOR. He did put a tweet out, but he deleted it. So it's looking like NAMOR could be in Doctor Strange 2, which is pretty funny. It might be far-fetched, it might be a stretch, but so was a Wakandan Easter egg in Iron Man 2, so there is some correlation. Thor went for the head, which is an Easter egg to obviously Thanos saying you should have went to the head, which essentially set the mission of the whole movie ahead because obviously Thanos was dead, which is pretty funny in a way. So Ant-Man 616, a lot of people, and I did make a video about this on a trailer before the movie came out. So the abandoned van in the long-term storage will need to be searched in future viewings. It's stored in a lockup labeled 616 an impossible to miss reference to Earth 616, the version of our planet that the heroes of the Marvel Comics occupied in the larger multiverse. And technically in this movie, they did kind of introduce us to alternate realities of different characters. The Hail Hydra, pretty funny. One of Captain America's greatest fight scenes to date in the elevator where he was ambushed in Captain America Winter Soldier. Pretty funny because obviously Crossbones was in there as well. Sadly, we didn't really get to see Crossbones dressed in his actual outfit. Only this time around, it is to give Steve the upper hand since he knows everyone present is in Agent Sidwell's team are Hydra sleeper agents. He whispers Hail Hydra to fool them into thinking he's on their side. Whilst it serves the movie's plot first, it's worth mentioning the comic book version that stirred up controversy when Captain America quite recently was revealed to be a Hydra agent all along, which is pretty funny. And for me, this is one of the best moments in the movie where Steve Rogers says to younger Steve Rogers, I can do it all day. And it's like his tagline, so to speak. He does say it a lot. It's kind of really funny for him to say it to a previous version of himself. Loki is still alive. This is pretty cool. They revisited the Battle of New York. This time Loki gets away with the Tesseract, suggesting he could reappear anywhere really, likely in the up-and-coming Disney streaming service. And I presume that's why it's set up, and also in the kind of Asgardians of the galaxy as well. I guess they could. Thanos breaks Captain America's shield. Now this is iconic. The image of Captain America's shield being broken into not a million places. First appeared in Age of Ultron as part of the nightmare vision shown to Tony Stark by Scarlet Witch. He was used as a symbol for total defeat. But in Avengers Endgame, it becomes something more. For Cap, even a shattered shield can't stop him from fighting. The real Easter egg is how it gets broken. We won't dive into the feasible of Thanos' hacking his way through the vibranium shield, as realistically, I don't like to go into problems of the movie, but Thanos' power level was so crazy. Literally, the only person that could stop him was Captain Marvel. A vibranium shield would hold its own and simply point to the comics. It's a rare moment from the Infinity Gauntlet comic recreated perfectly for this movie, where Thanos also reduced the shield to splinters just by slashing away at Steve. The movie's version still ends up to be pretty badass. Now the next one is kind of a reference to, I guess, Infinity War, because Captain America did the exact same thing. He stood up against him by himself, but this is one of the most iconic moments in Endgame, and it actually is a reference point to the Infinity Gauntlet comic when all the heroes have fallen and only Captain America remains on his feet, and he is still wanting to take him down. But obviously it was kind of ruined, but kind of built up a bit more by the rest of the Avengers who were dusted reappearing, which was pretty cool. So Morgan Stark, this again is a reference to Infinity War, where Tony Stark said he had a dream and he had a kid, and he called him Morgan instead of calling her Morgan, but it's still a reference point to Infinity War, and it's a nice little Easter egg that does actually line up with the comic book. So the kid from Iron Man 3, Harley, the kid that Iron Man saved in Iron Man 3, was in the funeral scene right at the end of the movie. This is just a parallel to show you how much time has passed between Iron Man 3 and Endgame. Obviously, there's a time jump, so that makes it even more time. The Asgardians of the Galaxy was set up, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, Valkyrie, and hopefully they will include Korg. But essentially, this is a comic book, and essentially, they did leave the movie, making it look like the Asgardians of the Galaxy will actually be a thing. And it would be pretty badass if Thor, if you call him Thor, I don't know, is he a new Thor? It's kind of hard to understand which variation of Thor they were going with. But they've set it up like Thor will be traveling around with them. Old Captain America passes a torch at the end of the movie. Now, in the comics, natural aging eventually does come to Steve Rogers as well. But in the comic book version, Steve Rogers had the super serum removed from his blood by a villain. Now, if they actually explained this in the movie that he had the super serum removed, it would have made a lot more sense, allowing him to wither away and lose his strength naturally, which is pretty awesome. The Iron Man moment against Thanos, also the Iron Man clanking in the credits. It's all going full circle. Tony Stark hammering together his first suit of the armor and the arc reactor to keep him as alive as the remainder of how everything started with Tony and ended with Tony, because this is the end of the Infinity Saga. Essentially, they're telling us that it's going to be complete new Avengers, which is pretty cool. But like I said, guys, the whole movie is literally the best of Avengers. It's like a love letter. The whole movie from start to finish is one big Easter egg, and I'm predicting there's something like 400 Easter eggs plus, because it's just a reference point. Literally everything in this movie is an Easter egg. Like Howard the Duck was in the movie. Let me know down below if you actually seen where he is. But this video would be something like 30 to 40 minutes long if I went over every single Easter egg. So guys, let me know down below, do you think NAMOR is going to show up in Doctor Strange 2 or Black Panther 2? The way they set it up, he could appear in both of them and or either, which is pretty cool. So guys, drop everything that I missed down below. Like I said, the whole movie is one big Easter egg, so I've just gone over which ones that I think are pretty cool. I tried to find the ones that are relevant to the Infinity Gauntlet comic. Obviously, the movie wasn't really anything like the comic book, but it is pretty cool. And let me know if you've got a Build-A-Bear for the Avenger range. That's pretty cool. And also, Korg was playing Fortnite, but they only did that because there's a deal that obviously there's an Avengers event going on in Fortnite. But you guys know what I think. If you play Fortnite, it's a game for people that can't play games. Yes, trigger down below, comment if I've made you angry. But realistically, Fortnite is the worst game going. But guys, I will be streaming Mortal Kombat 11 pretty soon on Twitch or YouTube later on today. So check it out if you want, at Warstu on literally everything. Except for Twitter, it's W Warstu. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. Remember, we are giving away the Infinity Gauntlet in the next few weeks, and we are giving away a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One, but we are really giving that away. Like, it is actually a real prize. It is real. But all we've got to do is hit 100,000 subscribers first. And then I will be giving them prizes away, because every prize on this channel is legit. Anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.